Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at a new special event that has come out on DBZ Dokkan Battle Global, and this is the 8th anniversary battle. So obviously I think they'll be updating this going forward, but this is essentially a new event that drops a ton of stones and also some very powerful skill orbs, which is pretty awesome. So the event itself consists of quite a few stages, 8 stages, but some stages have 2 different paths. Some stages, like, you're gonna have to repeat, you have to do once on one side and once on the other side. It's a pretty interesting event overall, and I think for the most part it's really clever kind of event. I think it's actually really, honestly quite smart. I think it's really well done. I think it's a clever idea, and essentially what it is each stage consists of the anniversary unit. So the first one consists of like Janemba and Strength Gogeta, for example. The second stage is 2 SS4 units. The third one is obviously Goku and Vegeta, or Gogeta and Vegito. And basically you complete these stages, and some stages have certain gimmicks and powers that obviously kind of represent the units. And I think overall it's a great idea. I think it's really smart. I think it's clever to do this. I think it gives, firstly, it gives a nice power boost for some units. I think the gear is pretty good, especially from a defensive aspect. A lot of the units, defense, there's the big kind of revamp around red zone, difficulty level stages, which was a huge thing for the game. And I think in this process now they're giving this gear, and this gear can really help the units. But it's also the stones, and it's also just a lot of fun. I think it's just a clever way to do your new content. I think it provides some stages. They're of decent challenge as well. There's no limit to them. There's no stamina requirement. So it's just a great way to pop a whole bunch of content right at the end of the anniversary, which I think is really fun. Gives players a little bit to chew on. You can then take the equips, put them on units. You can then try out the new units, and you can try them out in the new Shenron stage or in anything like that. So yeah, I think it's great. Plus, like I said, lots of stones. You are going to be grabbing a ton of stones. So I think it's 80 stones in total. The final 2 stages drop 16 each, which gives you 32, and then 40, and then so it's about 80 stones in total, which is pretty crazy. When you think about it, it's really honestly quite nuts, which I think is pretty good. And also obviously it drops exclusive gear for those units. So if you complete stage 1, you get exclusive gear or skill orbs for the first anniversary units, being Janemba and Gogeta. So I think that's pretty cool. There are challenges for the stages. Most of them are fairly simple challenges, mainly just requiring you to use all 5 typings. And then I think the last couple stages require you to beat them within 7 turns, which is honestly not that bad. So it's pretty awesome. I think it's a really clever idea, the event, and yeah, I think most players should definitely tackle it and take it on. What I'm going to do is I'll just skip ahead super briefly and complete the first stage, which I'll put up on a video shortly after this one. And yeah, basically jump back in, and then we can talk about the gear a little bit. But yeah, overall it's a pretty fun event. It's up permanently from what I understand. It's not a temporary event. I assume they will update it every year. So I assume with the next anniversary they'll update it, and then we'll have the 9th anniversary stage, and it'll just be a nice way to wrap up the event. At least that's what I think. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Now in terms of these skill orbs, I will say one thing. I think they could have gone a bit crazier with the skill orbs for some of the older units. Like I think Janemba and Gogeta realistically could have got plus 2000 to defense from their bronze equip to kind of bring them up to speed. I just think that would have been maybe better. But even then still, it's still pretty cool for them to get some gear, and we'll take a look at how good they can be. But yeah, I think if there's anything, I think maybe they could have catered to the gear a bit more for them, in terms of crit or additional as well. Like Gogeta doesn't really need crit, so maybe just giving him full additional gears would have been better. But I understand that, you know, maybe they just, you know, maybe they were concerned. There's not all the more too much you could do to bring these units back up to speed realistically, barring giving Gogeta like a gold, you know, plus 50% evasion gear. That would have been pretty interesting, low key. But yeah, but I think beyond that small complaint that they could have maybe personalized the skill orbs a bit more to bring some of the older units back in, I still think it's really neat, and I think it's still pretty fun. And if you're a new player or someone who's got Gogeta, or you know, it's gonna be cool. I mean, it augments their defense a lot. I mean, Gogeta goes from, you know, having plus 7,000 to having, you know, 9,000 defense, so that's pretty good when you want to think about it. You know, when you really want to add everything all up together. Plus, it's the first time I've ever seen plus 6 crit and plus 6 additional and things like that. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, it is pretty good. It's just a little bit of a shame that they didn't go a bit harder with some of the older units. But it's a great event, 80 stones, so definitely tackle it. And equipment wise, it's still really cool, especially for, I think the 3rd year anniversary units benefit a lot, and the 4th year and the 5th years, and yeah, just all of them. That's it from me. Bye.